friends, welcome to my channel. Today we are doing a very quick turnaround as far as an update for my 2021 Project Pan. So the last update I uploaded, I actually filmed something like 2 months ago, was too lazy to edit it, and got it up super late. So now you're seeing this probably within like 2 weeks of my last update. It happens. What you need to know is that actually like 2 months have passed. I have made some progress. Not the amount of progress I would want in 2 months, but you know, we will take any kind of progress we can get around here. So let me just quit talking and tell you about my products. First up, empties. So I used up the wave spray. So I have been pretty much using salt spray on my hair every single time I wash it in the summer. I just don't feel like drying my hair most of the time because it's so fucking hot and annoying. So I have just been religiously using salt spray, so this was super easy to use up, like it was at the top of the label when I began this, and now it is gone, which is just such a good feeling. And how did I feel about this? I feel like this made my hair really sticky and kind of weighed my hair down. I have experienced that a lot lately as I have used up my salt sprays, but this was just not it. I will say it does more than the one I'm currently using, and we'll get to that in a second, but it is like weirdly sticky and heavy, and I did not love that. So it's gone though. What else is gone? This is the Naturopathica, I have no idea. Manuka Honey Cleansing Balm. So this is just like one of your average cleansing balms, but it had Manuka honey in it. I found this extremely hard to get off. It just felt like it would stick to my eyes and my makeup, or just my face in general. And I just found it really like annoying to actually remove. So this is not something I would seek out again, but I mean, it did a good job. And I used it up and it's gone, so like that's all that matters. Last up for empties, we have my fragrance empty. This is the Tocca Cleopatra. I mean, I literally only had like this much left when I started, or when I put this in. And yeah, this is my least favorite of these. It just is not great. It's just not great. And I'm just happy it's gone. Have I since bought a ton of perfume and like something like this makes no difference in my collection? Yes, but every little bit counts. Next, we're going to talk about some stuff that I am kicking out of the pan. And since I'm kicking it out of the pan, I'm kicking it out of my collection and out of my life because it is time for it to go. I have been saying for months that some of these were going to be decluttered, and it is time to rip off that band-aid and do it. Starting with my Naked Basics palette. This did me well. I mean, I never hit pan. I made a crazy dip on this shade and made a decent dip on this shade, but those were the only two I would regularly reach for. I believe this did not change at all in weight. Never changed in weight, was always 76 grams. It's fine, it happens. I got some good use of it at the end there, and now I'm sure that I can live without this. What else I can live without? My Benefit Hoola Light Bronzer. I lost a gram of it at the very beginning, or used a gram of it at the very beginning, and then it never moved again. It just, it's fine. It's a very, very light bronzer. It's great when you're hella pale like me, but I just don't love it. I think it does to me what the Hoola bronzer does, which is kind of make my face look kind of muddy. And at this point, I don't really want a bronzer in my pan. I just don't feel like it's super necessary. So I'm actually not going to replace this with anything at this time. I may later, but right now, I'm good. I don't need to own this. Next up, something super pretty, but it did break during my last update, and I haven't enjoyed using it since. This is a mini of the NARS Capri highlighter, and I mean, it's broken. It's broken. I lost a gram after the first update on this, but after that it never really moved. I have been using it. It's a fine, pretty highlighter, but it's just not something that I need, especially since it's shattered now. So, no thanks, I'm good. And the last thing I am kicking out of my pan and kicking out of my collection is something that actually kind of hurts, because like this was like my favorite blush for the longest time, and that is my Benefit Hervana blush. I've had this way too long. It's like probably, I don't want to know. I don't want to tell you how old I think it is, because it is old. It's old. I hit pan on it once upon a time, a very long time ago. Like when I first started panning years ago. It's very old. It's still pretty. It's just, it's really old, and it's time for it to go, and it's time for me to move on from it, because it's old and expired and gross. So thank you for your service, but it's time for you to go. I'm pretty sure most of these updates are going to be kind of boring, but we'll do them anyway. So the first thing I see is my Hourglass Ambient Lighting palette. This has not changed in weight. It is still 94 grams, and it looks like this now. I have exclusively focused on this. I have not touched this round, I don't think. And I'm kind of reaching the point where I'm thinking, I used to say that I would use up the middle shade and then I would get rid of it, but I'm starting to question if I even want to use up the middle shade, if it's just better if I just get rid of this, because it is old. It is very old, and I'm kind of getting sick of having old makeup and trying to force myself to use it just because it's old, when in reality I should probably just toss it out. So this is one of those that I'm iffy about it at this point. It is what it is. Next up, something that I'm just so fucking sick of, and something that I could probably call done, because I used it today and it was like literally impossible to get product out. I had to like, it was spraying everywhere because it's like an air pump, so it was just spraying everywhere. But I can still hear product in it, and I don't want to call it empty. This is the Origins Original Skin Cooling Primer, by the way. It was at 49 grams. It's now at 43 grams. I'm at a point where I'm just like, oh my god, use this up. I do think this will be gone next update, because I think I probably have 1, maybe 2 uses of this left before I like literally won't be able to get any more product out. So I'm too stubborn for my own good sometimes. I probably could just call it, but I'm not going to. Next up, we have the Anastasia Beverly Hills A Dark Side eyeliner. I haven't measured this, but I can tell that's like way shorter than when it started. So I am happy with this. This is the only eyeliner I have at this current moment in time. And I mean, I'm trekking through it. It hasn't changed in weight. It hasn't changed in weight. I don't think it ever will. But I'm trekking through it. Next up, Jouer Concealer. I actually put this in last time, and I've already I took the stopper out. It was 32 grams, now it's 30 grams. I am scraping the sides on this thing. Like, you're not gonna be able to see anything, but it's a very empty tube. I don't love this concealer. I think it's super pale on me, which is saying something. But I will use it up. I'm not sure when I'm gonna call this done. I don't know if I'm gonna like go through the process of trying to get like every little bit of product out of it. It's not old, so it's just a matter of like, when am I gonna call it quits? So we'll see what I decide to do with this, but you know, still have it at the moment. Deborah Lippmann nail polish. The second mark you can barely see. It really hasn't moved because I got bored of this, to be honest. I had religiously been putting this on my toes. It was the only polish I was using on my toes. And then I just got kind of sick of doing that, so I put on some different polishes and I've been having fun with that. So I haven't reached for this at all, I think. And honestly, I don't think I love it as much as I used to. I might try it one more time, but I'm thinking I could probably get rid of this next update. We'll see, we'll see. But I mean, it hasn't moved at all because I haven't reached for it. I suck at using lotion in the summer. I have used this a couple times, but only because I'm like, girl, your skin is really dry. Or like, hey, you're gonna wear shorts and your skin looks kind of little. Put this on. This is the Charity Pot from Lush lotion. It literally only went down 5 grams since last update, which is so little for lotion. And the fact that I've had this as long as I have in my pan is crazy, because I was just tearing up lotion before. And now it's barely moved. It's 5 grams of product, which is like nothing. It's just not my favorite lotion at all. It sits on my skin. I do lotion at night, which means I then have to sleep in it. So if it's really hot, the last thing I want is to put on lotion that's not going to sink in. So it's been a struggle. I'm still keeping it in just because, I mean, it's lotion. I mean, I hate all lotion, so it really doesn't matter if I just happen to hate this one a little bit more than my other ones. It is what it is. I'll get it done eventually. It's just annoying. Sheet masks. I had 7 before. I now have 5. Still hate them. Still never want to own another sheet mask again. But I mean, progress is progress. I honestly will take that. This one is only like a 3-minute mask because it like primes you for makeup. So like I honestly should just like use this one day and get it over with. But yeah, I don't like sheet masks, but steady progress is progress. Okay, this I thought I had used up today and I was kind of like, what the hell? This is the Laura Mercier Secret Brightening Powder. I have like nothing left in here. Yeah, it didn't change in weight at all, but I think at this point it's such a light powder. Most of the weight is just the packaging because like if I turn it on its side, I see nothing. So I know there's still stuff in here, I can see it, but it's very little and I do actually think I can use this up by next update because there's just like nothing left. So that's crazy because I've had this forever. So if I can just, that would be so good. That would be very, very satisfying if I could use that up. My other powder, this for how tiny it is, has just held on for dear life. You really don't need much. It's a very nice powder for being a white transparent powder. This is the Makeup Forever HD powder. It was 18 grams, it's now 17 grams. I mean, this thing was full when I started, and I think you can tell there's a lot of air in there. But for how tiny this is, and for how much powder I use as an oily bitch, I mean, it's held on. I'm very impressed with how long I've had this. Do I still desperately want it gone? Yes, but I mean, I don't hate using it. I also don't find that it like gives me bad flashback, which is crazy for how white this is. And you really don't need much, and I love that. The fucking IT Cosmetics Celebration Foundation. I don't even know what to say anymore. It hasn't moved in weight. It's still 62 pounds. 62 pounds. God. 62 grams. And to be honest, I see no difference in this at all from last update. I have not really used it much. I just kind of dusted over to like even out my skin tone like the teeniest bit, but even that, it's just too much in the summer. And like, while this is kind of one of those products I would normally never declutter before using up in a pan because it's just like, it's a pressed powder foundation, like come on. I just hate it, and I'm kind of at the point where I'm like, why do I just not get rid of this? But at this point, I'm keeping it in, but I'm not happy about it. Okay, the Benefit Brow Pomade. Hasn't changed in weight, 30 grams still. However, I mean, I see major dips and major differences in what this looked like. In my head, at least. I like this. I think it's fine. It's a brow pomade. I really need to like actually get my brows done or like do them myself because like it's hard. It's getting hard to like shape them because they're just a mess. However, this is fine. I think it's a nice color. I think it's a nice consistency. I could continue using this no problem, so I'm fine that this has not changed in weight at all. Okay, another thing that I find very hard to use in the summer, this is the Pharmacy Sleep Tight Firming Night Balm. It's kind of like with the lotion, it just sits on my skin and it's just not what I want when I'm hot. So I don't believe this has changed in weight. This hasn't changed at all in weight. It's still 144 grams. I mean, you won't see a difference. It's just, this is another thing where I'm like, it's like skincare, so I would normally just use it up and not declutter it. But there's also a part of me that's like, oh my god, I hate this. I hate this so much, and I don't think it does much for my skin. I don't know. And then we have the Glam Glow Super Mud Clearing Treatment. I happen to know I haven't used this since last update. As usual, I can't show you because it's gonna go everywhere. It hasn't changed in weight. Or actually, no, it went down a gram. I think I did use it like one time to spot treat. But that's probably just the scale being weird. It's not really actual use, but yeah, I like this a lot. I just have to remember to use it, especially when I'm breaking out, because I've been breaking out a lot. So like, pick it the fuck up, Elisa. Jesus. Alrighty, and now it's time to replace those objects that I either used up or got rid of. First up, to replace the Ouai salt spray. This is the X Mondo Salty Sea Salt Spray. I went through that phase in lockdown where all I watched was Brad Mondo videos, and I ordered a bunch of his hair care, and this is one of those things. I've marked it right here and then used it a little bit so it is below the mark, but that's fine. I've been using salt spray like nobody's business. Like, I could be drinking it at this point. I don't love this one that much. It's not sticky like the Ouai one, but I also don't think it does much. I have been pairing it with the Wave foam, WaveTech foam as well, which helps a little bit, but just on its own, meh, it's not great, and I will be fine to see it go. To replace the cleansing balm, this is the Good Molecules Instant Cleansing Balm. It's a tiny, tiny product, but cleansing balms, I mean, it's filled to the brim and it's stiff, like very stiff as a product. It looks tiny, but I also don't use much when I use cleansing balms, so I don't actually know how long this will take me. I would like to say one update. Who really knows? My fragrance replacement is another little gimme. I think I got makeup in it because it's now cloudy and gross. I hate rollerballs with all of my heart. This is a tiny little one of the Chloe Nomad perfume. It's less than halfway at this point, so I'm hoping by next update this is gone. I don't love this scent. It's just not my fragrance profile that I normally go for. I don't like rollerballs at all, so I will be very happy when this is gone, and hopefully next update, fingers crossed. And to replace the decluttered products, to get rid, since I got rid of the Naked Basics, I figured I would try out the Naked 2 Basics, because for some reason I own both. This one, I don't love the shades as much. I don't think they'll be as easy to incorporate as the other ones were, because the other ones were really nice for pale skin. These are a little deeper and probably a little bit harder to incorporate with other palettes for me. So I'm not sure how long I'll actually have this, but it's just one of those things where I want to use it and then see if I want to keep it or not, because when I added the Naked Basics to my pan, I realized I actually really liked it, and for a while I was really happy that I had it in my pan. I don't think I'm gonna have the same experience with the Naked 2, so it's just kind of those like last chance, let's see what you can do kind of moments. To replace the Hervana blush, this is a little like sample mini size of the Clinique Fig Pop Cheek Pop blush. It's a little deep. We're going into autumn though, so I think this will be good. And it's also, these are really sheer, so I'm not that worried about it. It's another one of those things where I'm just trying to try out my minis and see like how many of them I actually like and actually want to keep. So this was there. I'll try it out. And last up, another mini. This is the Becca Vanilla Quartz Highlight. It's a very basic highlight. Nothing wrong with that. As you know, I got rid of Champagne Pop toward the beginning of this year, so just another Becca highlight. Try it out, see what I like, what I don't. I know Moonstone is my favorite, so it's just kind of a matter of getting rid of the stuff that isn't my favorite. So that is my update, my very quick but not actually that quick update for my Project Pan. I'm fingers crossed my mental health just like stays okay enough for me to want to film, because that's been my biggest issue lately. Also, time management has not been my strong suit, so I'm hoping that I will be less miserable once I get my new job. Fingers crossed, but we will see. But yes, thank you so much for watching. Comment, like, subscribe, all the normal stuff, and I'll see you guys again really soon. Bye.